Logan Stankoven, who's leading the AHL in scoring, did get his call up to the Dallas Stars, scores a goal already. So he's got his first NHL goal, a guy that's been, a CHL player of the year, incredible pedigree. But I think he's such a great example of why the AHL matters so much to the NHL, because obviously you're not all going to be Connor Bedard where you're drafted immediately and you're in the NHL immediately. It just doesn't happen that much. And I think that NHL teams, would love to use their AHL teams even a little bit more liberally, but there are obviously rules that prevent that from happening. But Logan Stankoven, here's a guy, 97 points last season in the WHL, 104 the season before, two-time member of Canada's World Junior team, a gold medalist at the Under-18 World Championship. I mean, this guy has pedigree for days, yet he was still a second-round draft pick. And why? Because he's a 5'8" forward. But as we've seen, and as he's proven throughout his junior hockey career and then going into the AHL with the Texas Stars, he is a legitimate talent, and he is going to probably help the Dallas Stars as they make this push here. And that is a team with legitimate Stanley Cup aspirations. And, you look at Dallas's drafting over the years, and I mean, it is truly remarkable. I remember there have been years where Wyatt Johnston was a pick where I was just like, how did they do that? How did they know, why did they pick that player who missed an entire OHL season and really only had played a little bit in his draft year? And, he becomes an everyday player for them. They have had some really tremendous draft in recent years. You have Wyatt Johnston and Logan Stankoven in the same draft, and that was the COVID draft. That was the year where the WHL season was shortened. Really, really impressive picks. They have a few other guys on there that could eventually play for them. Maverick Bourque, who was their first round pick the year before that, currently the second leading scorer in the AHL. So really good there. Thomas Harley, who's having a breakout season as an NHL player this year, was their first round pick in 2019. It's interestingly enough, in 2018, Ty Dellandrea, a pick that I like quite a bit. He's had a fair NHL career. He's kind of bounced around a little bit. But, I mean, the 2017 draft is the one that goes down in history as one of the best and just craziest ever, where they get Miro Heiskanen at 3rd overall, Jake Ottinger at 26th overall, and just Jason Robertson at 39th overall. Picks 1, 2, 3 in 2017. They also had Jacob Peterson and Dilla Ferguson, who have played NHL games in that draft class. But those top 3 guys, I mean, you just really have to tip your cap to Joe McDonnell and also Jim Nill for the job that they did putting those draft classes together. And McDonnell is, really, I think, has solidified his place as an elite scout for an elite scouting director for that run of success that Dallas has had. But it just goes to show you, even when you don't have the high picks, or when you do, you hit with a Heiskanen, you find ways to develop and get those talents. And Jason Robertson, Thomas Harley, Ty Dellandrea, Jake Ottinger. I mean, all these guys spent time in the AHL. Wyatt Johnston didn't. He's one of those surprise guys that was able to jump right into the NHL. But, these other guys have spent significant time in the AHL, and it just goes to show you how important that is for players.